Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktirvavati Naishtike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna, text number 28. Kaumarim darshayam cheshtam prekshaniyam vrajokasam rudaniva hasan mugdha बालसिंहावलोकनः कौमारीं दर्शयं चेष्टां प्रेक्षणीयां व्रजौकसां रुदन्नीव हसन्मुग्धा बालसिंहावलोकनः कौमारीं दर्शयं चेष्टां प्रेक्षणीयां व्रजौकसां रुदन्नीव हसन्मुग्धा बालसिंहावलोकनः. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child, and while so day he would appear like a lion cub. If anyone wants to enjoy the childhood pastime of the Lord, then he has to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vraja, like a Upananda, Nanda, and the parental inhabitants. A child may insist on having something and cry like anything to get it, disturbing the whole neighborhood, and then immediately after achieving the desired thing, he laughs. Such a crying and laughing is enjoyable to the parents and elderly members of the family. So the Lord would simultaneously cry and laugh in this way and merge his devotees, parents, in a humor of a transcendental pleasure. These incidents are enjoyable only by the residents of Vraja, like Ananda Maharaj, and not by the impersonalist worshipper of the Brahman or Paramatma. Sometimes, when attacked in the forest by demons, Krishna would appear struck with wonder, but he looked on them like the cub of the lion and killed them. His childhood companions would also be struck with wonder, and when they came back home, they would narrate the story to their parents, and everyone would appreciate the qualities of their Krishna. Child Krishna did not belong only to his parents, Nanda and Yashoda. He was the son of all the elderly inhabitants of Vrindavan and the friend of all contemporary boys and girls. Everyone loved Krishna. He was the life and soul of everyone, including the animals, the cows and calves. So here in the purport, Prabhupada explains the glories of Lord's childhood pastime. Because they are the most attractive pastimes. And who can enjoy them? As like the parents, they enjoy the activities of their own kids. So in Vrindavan, especially the Vrajavasis, not only the Nanda Maharaj are immediate family members of the Lord, but all the elderly ladies in the Vrindavan, they were loving Krishna like their own son. And that's the nature of the Lord, that He attracts everyone's heart towards Him. Whether they are cowherd boys, whether gopis, or whether the cows and calves, all they used to get attracted to Krishna. Sarvam akarshayati saha. The one who attracts each and everyone is known as a Krishna. Sayeva godhanam lakshmya niketan sitago vrikshap charayan anugana gopan rand venur ririraman. While herding the very beautiful bulls, the Lord, who has the reservoir of all opulences and fortune, used to play his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers, the cowherd boys. Purport: as he grew to 6 and 7 years old, the Lord was given charge of looking after the cows and bulls in grazing grounds. He was the son of a well-to-do landholder who owned hundreds and thousands of cows. And according to the Vedic economics, one is considered to be rich man by the strength of his store of a grain and cows. As per the Vedic mantras or Vedic Shastras, the real richest person is he who has numerous cows and innumerable grains. Dhanyena dhanavan, gavayo dhanavan. The person who has a lot of grains and as well as cows, he is considered as richer. With only these two things, cows and grain, humanity can solve its eating problem. Human society needs only sufficient grain and sufficient cows to solve the economic problems. All other things but these two are artificially necessities created by a man to kill his valuable life at the human level and waste his time in things which are not needed. Lord Krishna, as a teacher of a human society, personally showed by his acts that the mercantile community or the Vaishyas should herd cows and bulls and thus give protection to the valuable animals. According to the Smriti regulations, the cow is the mother and the bull is the father of the human being. Now, the cow is the mother because just as one sucks the breast of one's mother, human society takes cow's milk. Similarly, the bull is the father of a human society because The father earns for the children just as the bull tills the ground to produce food grains. Human society will kill its spirit of a life by killing the father and mother. It is mentioned herein that the beautiful cows and bulls were of various checkered colors: red, black, green, yellow, ash, etc. And because of their colors and healthy smiling from the temporary from the atmosphere was enlivening. One and above all, the Lord used to play his celebrated flute. The sound vibrated by his flute would give his friends such a transcendental pleasure, and that they would together they would forget all the tasks of the Brahmanda, which is so praised by the impersonalist. Those coward boys, as will be explained by Shukadev Goswami, were living entities who had accumulated heaps of pious acts and thus were enjoying with the Lord in person and were hearing his transcendental flute. The Brahma Samhita confirms that Lord's blowing his transcendental flute Vehinum Kvanantamaravindalayatakshan Parahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Gandharapakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahmaji said, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who plays on his transcendental flute. His eyes are like lotus flowers. He recites, he decorated with the peacock plums, and his body color resembles as a fresh black cow. Although his bodily features are more beautiful than million of cupids. These are the special features of the Lord. So when Lord staying in Vrindavan, when he grew up to the 6 or 7 years, he was given the responsibility of big cows and bulls to take them for grazing. See, again, we will continue the point from the second canto that Lord is Lord at all circumstances. He is, whether he comes in the form of a small boy, maybe he comes in the any form of an animal, he is Lord himself. Because when he was born, he made such an arrangement that nobody other than Devaki came to know that Lord has taken birth. His janma and his karma, they are transcendental. But when you associate with the devotees who are, as per Gaudiya Siddhanta, we consider them more merciful than the Lord himself. And Lord's mercy is causeless. It does not need any pre-qualification to attract that mercy. It is causeless. So when someone is thus selected by the Lord by His causeless mercy, then that person can create wonders in the world. And that's what Prabhupada also said. That unless and until you get rid of your anarthas and attain your own liberation or your swarupa, it's not possible to remember their Lordship. And here we can see Prabhupada has translated this verse that while hurrying the very beautiful pearls, the Lord who was the reservoir of all opulence and fortune, but used to blow his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers, the cowherd boys. So again, coming back to the point that Lord is reservoir of the fortune, and as always as somebody who really wants to work on that, he supports that person by providing all the facilities that he needs to attain that liberation in this lifetime by serving personally their Lordship. And especially for the Grihasthas, in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada recommends that they should get engaged themselves in direct service of the Lord. And that service of the Lord is deity worship. You can cook for the Lord. You can arrange things that He needs for the whole day. But unless and until we realize this, it takes a long time to attain that Krishna Prema. By the causeless mercy of the Lord, you get the association of the devotees. And unless and until you have dedication for your spiritual master, and if you pray to him, then only it's possible to preach about Lord's message. So it needs to be understood. Further, Prabhupada says there are so many rules and regulations are there. But main five are these. Unless and until we really try to understand this, it becomes very difficult to progress in spiritual life. Right now, our position is that neither we are totally karmis, neither we are devotees. Not here, not there. At least if you are at one place, either karmi is totally karmi, or either yogi or dhyani means totally yogi or dhyani. But we want to be always in the middle, and that gives us suffering actually. So we have to decide which way we have to go, either this way or either that way. Because according to the Smriti regulations, as Prabhupada has quoted here, cow is considered as a mata and bull is considered as a father. See that few boys or few kids, they take birth, and after birth their mother, she never has a milk. to give to this poor child. At least here, I don't know how much they believe in all these things. But in India, if someone is not able to get the milk from his own mother, then is fed the milk of cow. So, in the Vedic eras, all the people they were dependent on mother cow for their milk. And if you not serve mother cow, it's not that easy to make progress in spiritual life. Because anyone who has taken shelter of the mother cow in Go Seva Visheshankar, which is published by uh, Gita Press Gorakhpur, that has given wonderful stories about the attachment for cow shown by different personalities. How they were and how much they were into that. We have to understand that their Lordship is so merciful. And because of that, He comes personally here. And He performs such a wonderful activity so that our heart, which has become so hard, can melt down and we will be able to visualize the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. But our conditioning is that after coming to this material world, we have literally forgotten the bliss that we really enjoyed in the spiritual world. Even this shloka, which has given here by Prabhupada, this shloka is given here to understand the glories of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. How one can understand this Mahamantra? What are the things that need to be avoided? And that never happens unless and until you show interest in that. Most of the time, people they think that because Lord wants it, that's why we do it. And sometimes you don't see them in temple and you ask them, where were you? They said, actually this time, not, Lord never allowed us. It's not the Lord. It's we. We have a given chance to make a decision whether we should follow Krishna consciousness or either we should follow the pravritti marg. The pravritti marg, which is none other than enjoying our own senses, and nivritti marg, which is nothing but pleasing Krishna by performing our different activities. It seems to be same actually. But what creates a difference in activities is love for the Lord. Whatever you do, if you put your heart into that, definitely it gives a wonderful result. Because Lord, as He has said, Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sannivishto, He resides in our heart and He knows very well how things are happening with us. Ajaya Jagodgava Sevena Goparaja Dvijottamaihi Vittasya Chor Bharasya Chikirshana Satvaya Vivaho. Not that. Prayuktan Bhojarajena Maina Kamarupina Leelaya Vinudattam Stan Balak Krida Naka Niva. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the Kansa of a Bhoja dynasty. Kamsa to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child. The atheist Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan and in the house of Nanda Maharaj. He therefore engaged many wizards who could perform wonderful acts and assumes any form they liked. All of them appeared before the child Lord in various forms like a Agha, Baka, Putana, Shakata, Trinavarta, Dhenuka, and Gardava. Both are same, no? Dhenuka and Gardava. Dhenuka means also donkey and Gardava also means donkey. And they tried to kill the Lord at every opportunity. But one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord, as if he were only playing with the dolls. Children play with the toy lions, elephants, boars, and many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like toy lion in the hands of material cloud. No one can excel God in any capacity. Hmm? क्या हुआ? Children play with toy lions, elephant, boars, many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like an toy lion in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel God in any capacities, and therefore no one can be equal or greater than him. Nor can anyone attain the stage of a equality with a God by any kind of endeavor. Jnana, Yoga, Bhakti are three recognized processes of spiritual realization. The perfection of such a process can lead one to be desired goal of a life in a spiritual value. The perfection of such a process can lead one to the desired goal of a life in a spiritual value, but that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. The Lord is the Lord at every stage. When he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother Yashoda Mai, or just like a coward boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without the slightest diminution of his six opulences. Thus, he is plain unrevealed. The most important thing that has made clear here that Lord is Lord at every stage. Some may try to know about the Lord through knowledge, some may try to know about the Lord by performing severe austerities. And others, they know Lord as it is by performing devotional service. Performing devotional service is the easiest way to understand their Lordship. Bhaktyate ananya shakya aham evo vido arjuna aham yadnena tapasa danena cha. You can't know their Lordship by charity or by performing different austerities. But it becomes very easy to know the Lord by devotional service. And that's the proper way to understand their Lordship. Because he is full of opulences in all the stages of his manifestation. He may sometimes manifest as a child, sometimes manifest as any animal, like a Narsimha, Varaha, Kurma, Matsya. But he is always full of all these opulences. And just to know this and meditate on this, this discussion is going on between Uddhava and Vidurji. Because thinking about Lord, remembering Him, and as he said, Satatam Kirtayantamam, chanting His holy name always, constantly, will give you real bliss in life. And once you attend that place, then that it doesn't matter where you are, which position you are having, what facilities that do you have. It doesn't cares about that. It really doesn't matter. Because the person who is attended that place, yam labdhva chaparam labhan namanyato adhikam tata. If someone gets that, then he does not have any other desire, any other longing in his heart. And for that purpose, what's needed is to give the oral reception to the wonderful narrations of their Lordship. Mahamrita Magna Chetaha. If your mind gets totally engaged in Tvadavirya Gayana, in the glorifying their Lordship, then you can attain this stage of liberation in the same life, in the same body. And our whole endeavor should be for, or must be for this only. Because yadvat labate saukya, or yadvat labate dukhat ayatnatah. Without endeavoring much, we suffer in this world. We endeavor to get happiness in this world, but that you will not get it by your own endeavor. That you will get it by rendering service to their Lordship. Because that is what meant to give the real pleasure of life. And Prabhupada has made it very clear for us. Just do these things, chant your 16 rounds, follow royal rogative principles, and pray the Lordship. Be a good devotee. Prabhupada said, if one person becomes a pure devotee, then my endeavor is successful. And as long as, or as soon as, we keep our heart simple, that gives us boost to our spiritual life. So let's pray to the Lordship that we should remember and try to understand the glories of their Lordship by giving proper oral reception to the narrations given in the Vedic scriptures. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki